Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all those who are watching today's live class. My name is Alex, and today we'll be doing some IELTS practice, focusing on speaking. So I look forward to practicing with those who have joined me live in the class, and I also look forward to reading the comments from those who are watching us live on YouTube and Facebook. We are, of course, broadcasting live on these platforms, both the YouTube and the Facebook platforms. So if you are watching this class live, please let me know your name and where you're watching from, and I will be more than happy to read your comments out during the class. So for those who have not seen this class before, my name is Alex, and I will be going through the IELTS speaking exam, looking at different sections of the exam. We'll be doing, first of all, I'll be giving some tips in terms of how to approach the exam, focusing on a specific element of the IELTS marking criteria. And then I will be doing practice live and direct with our students who have joined us today in the StreamYard class. So I can see that students are joining us in the class now, which is wonderful to see. We've got Rita, Anna, Millie, Alice, and Abby have all joined us in the class. So I hope to be able to speak to all of you today so we can do some practice together. I can also see that Alvin is watching on Facebook. Welcome to you, Alvin, watching live from Singapore. So a very warm welcome to the class. Good evening to you, Alice, in the class today. And hello to you, Anna. Long time no see. Yes, I took a couple of weeks to get some sun in the UK, but I'm very happy to be back with you today. So who else have we got watching us today on YouTube and Facebook? Let's see, we've got Jinky is watching us. Wonderful to see you in the class today, Jinky. And thank you for the welcome back. And I can see that Eagle has joined us in the class as well. So we're getting warmed up here for today's class. Let's see who else is joining us. We've got Adajet as well. Welcome to the class, Adajet, and thank you for the welcome back. And also we've got Edison1 as well has joined us. Hello to you. Edison1 is in the UK. Okay, great. So let's have a look then at today's class. I will begin, as usual, by focusing on the IELTS scholarship program, which we are offering. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube and Facebook, if you would like to participate directly in the class, then the way to do that is through the IELTS scholarship program. So you can sign up for that today. You will be able to get extra support and guidance from both Swoosh English and Connetics USA in terms of achieving your ambitions of living and working as a nurse in the US of A. So if this is something which you want to do and you're not already a part of a scholarship program, then do sign up. You will find a link to sign up in the chat box, which has been shared now. So just click on that link and you will be able to find out how you can take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. Okay, so David has joined us in the class. Hello to you, David, watching on YouTube. And also I can see that Amaryllis has joined us from the UK. Hello to you, Amaryllis. Okay then, so what I want to focus on in terms of strategy for the IELTS speaking today is on a common form of question. And this common form of question is talking about likes and dislikes. So this comes up in the IELTS exam quite a lot, particularly in parts 1 and 2. So I wanted to focus on how we can express likes and dislikes using less common language and avoiding repetition of information from the question. So let's have a look at an example question here we could get in the IELTS. This would be a part 1 question. And the question is, do you enjoy reading? And we can see the response, yes, I enjoy it very much, although I don't get to do it as often as I'd like to. So what I'd like you to tell me, those of you today watching the class live, is what are the strengths and the weaknesses of this answer? What do you think? What are the plus points and what are maybe the drawbacks of giving a response like this? So let me know what you think in the chat box to this answer. In the meantime, I can see that Binny has joined us. Hello to you, Binny. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So what do we think? Anyone have any comments on this? Elements that they think are positive about this response, and elements which perhaps are not so positive, things that could be improved. Let me know if you have any comments on this. Okay, so Alvin says that the strength is that the length of the answer, and it answers the question directly. Absolutely. Well observed, Alvin. Anna says there's no examples. Yeah, that's true. We could add examples to this response. I agree. Any other comments? Rita feels it's a bit short. Yeah, it could be expanded, definitely. Okay, so a few comments then in terms of the weaknesses and the strengths of the answer. Alice has pointed out, as has Abby, both of them have pointed out, there's the repetition. Yeah, absolutely. That would be a weakness, repetition of the word enjoy. So one thing that you want to do when you're responding to IELTS questions is you want to use as much of your own vocabulary as possible. If you just repeat vocabulary from the questions, then you're not demonstrating to the examiner that you have the ability to use your own words and phrases. And so it would demonstrate potentially a limitation in terms of your vocabulary store. So here are some comments that I made, similar to the comments that I've received in the class. So strengths, certainly the speaker adds extra information and uses a linking expression. So the linking expression, although, helps to provide fluency and coherence to the response. But yeah, clear weakness is repetition of the word enjoy. So also, of course, the answer could have been expanded. They could have given some examples. Certainly, there were other opportunities to expand. But what could the speaker have said to avoid repetition? So how could enjoy have been paraphrased by the speaker? Anyone got any suggestions for that? Enjoy, it's quite a common word, isn't it? But there are other ways in which we could express liking something. Okay, so any comments there? Nice. So we've got here, Alice said favorite. Yeah, it's similar, isn't it? Doesn't quite have the exact same meaning, but certainly favorite is something that you appreciate. Eagle says we should paraphrase, use a synonym. Certainly. Anna says, I'm an avid fan of reading. Very nice. Yeah, that is a good expression. Alvin, love. Yeah, absolutely. Fond of, good. Yeah, these are other ways of expressing likes. Alicia says, I'm into. Great. So some great suggestions there. Good. Okay. So here are some other suggestions as well. And we can see those here. So like, definitely, I really like, or I like reading a lot. So we can use these adverbs in order to intensify our response, to make our response stronger. Love, absolutely, we could use as well. I love reading. We could use the expression, I'm crazy about it. So to show that you really enjoy something. So we could say, yeah, I'm crazy about reading, to show a lot of enthusiasm. I'm keen on, or I'm really keen on reading, is another way that we could express enjoyment. And I'm fanatical about as well, is another way of expressing it. So some of these expressions are obviously very strong expressions. I'm crazy about, I'm fanatical about. Show a very strong, positive feeling about the activity. Keen on is more similar to enjoy. And obviously with like, you can modify that in different ways. Good. So Millie says keen of or fond of. Yep, fond of is another expression we could use, but it would be keen on, not keen of. Alice says passionate. Yeah, passionate about definitely is another one that we could use as well. So good. A number of options. But let's imagine that now we want to express the fact that we dislike an activity as opposed to like an activity. So let's imagine we have the question now, do you enjoy dancing? And let's also imagine that the person responding does not enjoy dancing. So how could they express a negative reaction or a dislike of an activity? What do we think? Again, try to avoid repeating the vocabulary in the question. So what do we think to this one? So let's see, we've got some suggestions here. So a very strong way of expressing negativity is I hate it. That's obviously very strong. Yeah, absolutely. What other ways can we express negativity or a dislike of something? Okay, so Rita says, I don't really have interest in, so don't have an interest in. Yeah, absolutely. That would be a good way of doing it, to say I don't have an interest in something. Eagle says, I don't like. Yeah, absolutely. We can just say I don't like something. Good. Any other expressions that we could use to show that we are not into something, or that we dislike something? Yeah, Mary says, I dislike. Yeah, absolutely. So these are some expressions that we can use. Here are some other expressions we could use to express a dislike of an activity. So we could use no, I don't like, obviously, but we can also, again, we can intensify it. We can make it stronger. We can say, sorry, we can say, I really don't like, or I really don't like dancing at all. So we can use that expression at all at the end to emphasize our point, to make it stronger. I can't stand dancing. That's another expression we can use to show that we really dislike something. I'm not keen on dancing. So that shows we dislike it. Maybe not as strong as hate, or not as strong as I can't stand, but it shows that we don't enjoy it. So yeah, I'm not keen on dancing. Going dancing is not my kind of thing. Again, shows that we don't enjoy the activity. So these are some expressions then that we can use. And they're a little bit less common than just saying, I don't like, or I don't enjoy. So it would be a good idea to use expressions like this, some of the less common expressions in your speaking, in order to provide more variety. Okay, so Alice says, I dread. Yeah, so dread is something which you have to do, but that you really don't enjoy. So if you say dread, you'd have to give more context, because you're saying, I dread dancing, but I have to do it because my girlfriend really enjoys it. So yeah, if you gave more context, that could work. I'm not a born dancer. Yeah. So, but doesn't mean that you don't enjoy it. It just means you're not very good at it. So it means something slightly different there. So maybe you could say, I really don't like dancing because I'm not a born dancer. I don't have natural rhythm. So again, you might give a bit more context. Okay, and just finally then, expressing likes and dislikes. Sometimes we don't have a strong feeling one way or the other. We don't have a strong positive feeling and we don't have a strong negative feeling. And so we would express being somewhere in the middle or neutral. So how could we express neutral feelings to this question? So here we have the question, do you like watching football? So again, let's imagine that we're going to express ourselves in a neutral way. What expressions can we use for that? Yeah, we're not strongly in favor of, we're not strongly against, we're somewhere in the middle. Any ideas for this one? I'm in two minds. Yeah, but if you're in two minds, it means you can't really make a decision. So you might say that, but it doesn't mean that you're neutral. It doesn't mean that you don't have strong feelings positively or negatively about an activity. It just means you're not sure about something. So this maybe will be more for part 3 when you have to give an opinion on a concept or an idea. You can be in two minds about an idea, but an activity, we might use a slightly different expression. Any suggestions? So Mary said, I really do not have like football. But if you say I really do not like without the have, I really do not like football, then obviously that's strongly negative. It's not neutral. Yeah, I really do not like it. It's neutral. Okay, so let's have a look at some expressions then which we can give to show that we're kind of neutral. We don't feel strongly positive. We don't feel strongly negative. So Millie says not keen on. Yeah, not keen on, but that's negative though. If you're not keen on something, you don't like it. But here are some expressions to show that we are neutral. So I don't mind it. That's the most common way to express that we're quite neutral. So yeah, I don't mind watching football. It's okay. That's another thing we can say. You know, it's okay. I don't mind it. I can take it or leave it. Okay, so again, that means we're in the middle. You know, sometimes it's okay, but if I don't do it, I'm not really too worried. I'm in the middle. I can take it or leave it. I'm not crazy about it. So when you say you're not crazy about it, what you're saying is that, you know, I don't hate it, but I'm not crazy about it. Again, you're somewhere in the middle. Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind it. So these are some expressions we can use to show that we are neutral towards a particular activity. Okay. So some other suggestions. Yeah, Mary, I'm not really into football. Again, that's if you're negative. If you don't like something, you say you're not into it. Rita, I love watching football and I'm an ardent Chelsea fan. Oh, good for you. So yeah, obviously you have a strong feeling, a strong positive feeling in this case. So let's put this into practice then. We're going to do some part 1 questions together. So I'm going to bring some students into the class so we can do that practice. For part 1, for those who are not familiar with the IELTS exam, it usually lasts between 4 to 5 minutes. It will begin with you giving your full name and identification, and then you'll be asked on common topics related to your hometown, family, jobs and studies, and then other topics such as travel, hobbies, national celebrations, etc. So common topics about you, your country, your experiences. So the first topic we will bring up in just a moment. Just a few tips here. You should answer the questions directly, provide development where appropriate. Obviously, make sure you're using correct grammar and vocabulary, and avoid repetition by using some variation in your language. You should make sure your responses are natural and fluent in terms of your pronunciation. You should make sure it's accurate, obviously with stress, and also use a variety of intonation to show mood and attitude. So those are some general tips, but let's see if we can use some of these expressions from today in the class. So I'm going to bring in a student now. We try to bring in students, of course, who have not participated previously. So let me bring in Abby. Hi, Abby, are you there?
Hello,
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Have you participated in the class before, Abby?
No, this is my first time.
Ah, well, a very warm welcome to you. Where are you from?
I am from originally Ethiopia, but currently living in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. And how long have you been in Saudi Arabia?
I've been here more than 12 years.
Oh, that's a long time. So you must be very familiar with the culture.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah, you must be. Okay. Well, again, a very warm welcome, Abby. We're going to start with some part one questions. And the topic we're going to look at is barbecues. So, first question, Abby, do people like barbecues in your country?
Uh, Here in from back home, not really. Most people are doing a barbecue because I don't see quite that people are doing a barbecue to outdoor activities.
Okay. If you were to have a barbecue, what food would you like to be cooked for you?
What I like the most is cooking traditional dishes, especially in Ethiopia. We call it like a dorowot, which is a spicy chicken.
Okay. Um, and if you were to have a barbecue, would you prefer to have it with your friends or your family?
Well, I enjoy having with the friends. We can have the food and together we can chit chat with them.
Okay. And how do people spend time together outdoors in your country?
Mostly, they do. Uh, if especially it's depend of the weather, especially if it is summertime, people are going to the beach around the sea and do some activities there like swimming, fishing.
Okay. And why do you think that barbecues are more popular in some countries than others?
I can't say that like for example here I live here in Saudi. uh, Most people, especially during weekends, they used to do a barbecue like
Okay.
having.
Yep. Sorry, were you
Hello.
going to continue?
Okay.
Yeah. Were you going to
People,
continue, Abby? Or yeah.
yeah. Okay. And people here in Saudi, where I live now, I'm saying that their people are doing a barbecue, especially when they have a spare time to spend with their family, like a get together.
Nice. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Abby. And well done on participating for the first time in today's class. Um, so yeah, so there were some nice responses that you gave there. There was some nice use of vocabulary. I like the expression chit chat that you used. That was nice, natural use of conversational vocabulary. Also, a get together. That was good. Also, used a good strategy when you talked about food from your hometown. You explained in English what was in the dish, which is obviously important to do because I'm not familiar with Ethiopian food, and the examiner probably won't be either. So yeah, it was good that you explained it, and you talked about what was in the dish. So yeah, there was some good elements to what you were doing there. Just in terms of improvement, so I think with some of the responses, it wasn't clear if you'd finished speaking or not because your intonation didn't show it. So a good thing to do when you come towards the end of a response is just to kind of lower your intonation. So, for example, when I say, do people like barbecues in your country? You could say, well, actually, barbecues are not too popular in my country, so I can't say that people like them so much. So you see, my voice goes a bit lower at the end, and it just indicates that I finished speaking. But if I end and I say, people don't really enjoy barbecues in my country, so I can't say they like them that much. And then I don't know. I'm not certain. It's like, okay, has Alex finished speaking? Has he not finished speaking? So it's just with a bit of intonation. If you kind of drop your voice a little bit, you can make it clear to the speaker that you finished. And so you would get credit for that in terms of your use of pronunciation within part one. Also, just a couple of slips. So we talk about having a barbecue, not doing a barbecue. So just a collocation there. You may never talk about it in the exam, but just in case. And also depends. It's always depends on. So depends on the weather, not depends of the weather. And just finally as well. So you said that they used to do a barbecue. Used to means in the past, but not now. So I think what you meant was they usually have a barbecue, which would be correct for that expression. Okay, but thanks again, Abby, for getting involved, and I hope to see you in the future classes. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Take care. Okay, so let's continue with our practice. I'm going to bring Rita in now. Are you there, Rita?
Yeah, Alex. Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm good. This is my first time of attending the class.
Yes, I thought so. Where are you calling from?
I'm in UK.
Ah, you're in the UK as well, hence the afternoon. Which part of the UK?
I'm in Manchester.
Okay. I'm going to travel to Manchester this weekend.
Oh. Yeah, that would be nice. Let me know when you. Yeah. It's actually hard for me to join the class because of the nature of my job. So I don't close on time and I'm not always able to join.
Okay. But well done for making it on this occasion. And a welcome to the class. Where are you from originally, Rita?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. Wonderful. So I guess the weather in the UK is reminded you a little bit of Nigeria recently?
Yeah. We're enjoying it. I hope it lasts anyway.
Yeah, it won't. But we hope it will.
Yeah.
Okay, Rita, so let's have a look at another topic together.
Okay.
And the topic we're going to have a look at is extreme sports. So tell me, Rita, do you ever do extreme sports?
Not really. I don't usually do sports. Although I'm not keen in doing sports, but I do walk a lot. I do a lot of walking because my work and where I live is not all that far. So every day I do walk to my working place and I use that as a sort of sport. I don't really engage in doing an extreme sport or going to the gym as per se, but I do a lot of walking and I do use it as my sport.
Okay. Why do some people enjoy extreme sports, do you think?
I think people have different reasons why they engage in sports. Some people do it as a part of weight loss. Some people do it because they have a hobby in doing that, or some also do it as part of their occupation, like all the trainers. They always engage in extreme sports, maybe to encourage the people they are training, or because it's their hobby and they are used to that. So there are several reasons why people engage in extreme sports.
And do you think extreme sports are dangerous?
Yes and no at the same time. For example, it depends on who is doing it. If it's someone that have a tag, have a reason for doing it, like someone that is watching weight and someone that is healthy, doing it is okay for the person. But in case someone is not healthy, maybe the person have a heart problem. Being a nurse, I know that people that have heart problem, they are not encouraged to engage in extreme sports. So if such a person with health condition like that engage in doing extreme sports, instead of being beneficial to the person, is going to end up to be harmful to the person. So that's why my answer initially is yes or no. So it depends on your situation. If you're healthy, fine, it is useful for the person. But if the person has a condition like heart problem, I don't feel is advisable for the person to engage in an extreme sports.
What kind of precautions should be taken while doing extreme sports?
There are a lot of aids sort of that you can use when doing extreme sports. People have some protective aids like the one they put on the wear on their head. Some have chain guide. Some use gloves or any other thing. Although I'm not really into sports, so I might not be able to mention all the things they use. But I know that people use a lot of things when they are doing extreme sport because it is dangerous. Even I've seen someone that have had a muscle tear from doing extreme sports. When I was a student nurse, we have to rush the person to the theater to do some sort of corrective surgery. I don't know if it's from them that I became scared of doing extreme sports from what I experienced when I was a student nurse. So it can be dangerous. So people should be able to know if they can really do it before they will engage in that or not.
Okay, thank you very much, Rita. Very nice, some really nice responses to questions there. You developed your answers appropriately. You showed a wide range of vocabulary, and you showed some good strategies in there as well. So, at one stage, you were talking about protective gear that they can wear when doing extreme sports, and I think at one point you said they could wear something on their head. So, were you not sure of the word for that?
Yeah, I wasn't. That's why I said I was not into it and I can't really remember what it is called. I
So, a
said it
helmet.
before I mentioned that. Yeah, helmet.
That's the one you were looking for, yeah. But no, but it was a really good
Yeah,
strategy. So you couldn't remember the exact word, so you just described what it was, and then you talked about
yeah.
shin guards and you talked about gloves. So yeah, so really good strategy. There are going to be times where you can't think of the exact word. So the important
Mhm.
thing is to do what you did, to
Okay.
basically to just explain it and move on,
Mm.
which was really good. So your fluency was very natural, your pronunciation was very accurate as well. You know, you spoke at a natural pace. So yeah, lots of really positive stuff. Using some of the expressions we looked at the beginning of the class. So you said you're not really keen on, or you're not keen on extreme sports, which was great as well. Just in terms of variety, so you did use engage in on a number of occasions to engage in sport, which is engage in is fine, but just to avoid repetition, we could have used expressions
Repetition
like participate in.
or involve.
Yeah, or get involved in. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Or take part in would be another one as well. So yeah, that would have been good. Just to avoid sort of using the same expressions. It's good to
Mm.
use synonyms to avoid
Okay.
that. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and also just your fluency was really good, but there were just certain moments where you were using expressions which maybe weren't completely natural. So there was one point where you said people, they do extreme sports because it's a hobby in doing that. So
Okay.
it's clear what you mean, but the grammar of it's not quite accurate.
Mhm.
So yeah, so
Okay.
they would do it as a hobby, uh, or they enjoy doing it as a hobby. Would be a more natural way of expressing it. So that would be one thing I'd just say, just to be aware of. Just sometimes some expressions are very clear, but sometimes grammatically they're not accurate. So yeah, just be aware of that. But as I say, there's lots of positive elements to your speaking. So so well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so we're going to continue. Just before we do, I want to once more just make you aware of the opportunity to get involved in the IELTS Scholarship Program. So you can sign up for this today. If you would like to work and live as a nurse in the USA, then through the scholarship program, we can help you achieve those goals. And you could as well have all of this support for free. So if you would like to join and sign up for the IELTS Scholarship Program or find out more information, then please click on the link in the chat box and we can provide that information for you and help support you in achieving those ambitions. Okay, so let's continue on then with some speaking practice. And we're going to move on now to speaking part 2. So with speaking part 2, usually this lasts for between 3 to 4 minutes in total. It will begin with the presentation of a question. The candidate then has a minute to respond, to prepare, and should speak for between 1 to 2 minutes. My advice for this section of the exam is to always aim to speak for 2 minutes. And if the examiner interrupts you, that's no problem. But you don't want to only speak for, let's say, a minute or a minute and a half, and then the examiner is waiting for you to say more words. Always aim for 2 minutes, and then you will impress the examiner by showing that you have the fluency to speak for that period of time. So let me bring Millie into the class now. Hi there, Millie. Are you there? No? Okay, so it doesn't look like Millie is there. So in that case, let me try and bring another student into the class. So I'm going to bring Anna into the class. Are you there, Anna?
Hello, Alex. I'm here.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Doing well.
Haven't seen you for 2 weeks.
Yes, I was on a bit of a break.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we need a break from time to time, don't we?
Correct.
How about you? Have you had a break recently?
Yeah, I did. And it refreshed my mind.
Yeah, good. So Anna, we're going to have a look at a part 2 question together now.
Okay.
And you will see that coming up on the screen in just a moment. Here we go. So can you see the question on the screen?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, Anna. So you've got 1 minute then to prepare your response, and then you should speak for between 1 to 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay,
So
can.
brilliant. Okay, so your timing begins now. Okay, Anna, are you ready to begin?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay. So please describe a special hotel you have stayed in.
I'd like to tell you a time where I went to a specialized hotel, it was 2009 with my family because we have traveled to Japan for a vacation. So it is equipped with a lot of high tech, I mean gadgets and accessories inside the hotel, and it's specialized with a plethora of things that it could offer to the guest, specifically the way that they serve meals, and of course the way that they handed us the I mean how to use the specific washing machine that I'm not so sure of because it's really high in technology. I am not aware of using it. But the downside of it is it the instructions were in Japanese, so I am not sure how to use it. But luckily, I have this another person with me that translated it how to use the said equipment. So it was a once in a lifetime opportunity to travel to a mesmerizing destination, which is the Japan. I love my stay there with my family because it showed me a lot of things, like I indulge in different activities as well as I learn a lot of cultures, and of course I befriend a lot of Japanese people. So it was overwhelming and I was enthralled and ecstatic to know that Japanese are friendly, and of course and of course
Okay,
you only live
thank you.
once.
Thank you very much there, Anna. That was great. You had a lot to say about your trip to Japan. Sounds like a very special moment.
Yeah.
That was great. So yeah, so you spoke at a natural pace there, Anna. You included lots of really nice vocabulary. You talked about a plethora of activities, really nice. You some nice expressions. A once in a lifetime opportunity. Described it as mesmerizing. So lots of less common vocabulary was being used here, which was great. You also showed your attitude. So luckily you're using attitude expressions, which was great to hear you do. Um, and yeah, so really good in terms of fluency, really good in terms of vocabulary usage, and some really positive stuff there. Pronunciation also was very accurate throughout. Um, what I would say is just give you some pointers in terms of grammar. So you said at the beginning, you said we have traveled to Japan, but this is an activity which began and ended in the past. So we should use the past simple. So just we traveled to Japan rather than the present perfect.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, also just in terms of some expressions. So at one point you said about the washing machine. You said it was high in technology, I think was the expression you used. But I think what you want to say is it was high tech. It was very high tech.
Yes.
Yeah, so we don't need to use the in. Just yeah, it was very high tech, and then yeah, that shows that obviously it was difficult to operate because it was high tech.
Mm-mm.
Good. What and there was another thing as well. So you said I'm not aware of using it. But if you're not aware of using it, that means that you don't know if you used it or not. I think again, what you were trying to express there is that you weren't aware how to use it.
Yes, yes. I wasn't aware how to use it.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, aside from that, it was really good. The response that you gave. So yeah, great, and some like I said before, some great vocabulary. So well done, Anna.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so let's continue with our practice. And let me bring in Eagle. How are you doing, Eagle?
Hi, hello, I'm good.
Good,
How about
good.
you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing well. You had a good day today so far?
Yeah, I'm duty right now.
You're cooking.
Yeah, I'm at work right now.
Oh, you're at work. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I misheard you. You're at work right now. Okay, no problem. Let's have a look at a new topic together then, Eagle. And the part two topic we're going to look at now is celebrity. So can you see the question on your screen?
Yeah,
Okay, that's great. So you have 1 minute then, Eagle, to give a response to this question. and then you should spend between 1 to 2 minutes giving your response. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ready to begin, Eagle?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so please describe a famous person you are interested in.
Well, when I saw the question, I actually remember one of the famous celebrity that I ever known. He is one of the well-known comedian and actor here in the Philippines. So he is Vic Soto. So I actually know him. It's because of his attitude and behavior towards his work. He is actually a very promising artist here in my country. So he is usually do his thing like helping other people. So I'm actually a type of person that is usually caring about something or even having or, or showing care from other people. So he's actually what I mean he has a program in the Philippine television that he can really show the whole countrymen to in helping other people, not just like financially, but in other work or even the other thing. So I definitely interested in his personality. It's because of the uh, having a great characteristics or even um, his words about his life or even helping other people. So he is not just like an ordinary an actor, but then again, which has a great
Okay, thank you.
image.
Thank you very much there, Eagle. That's great. So you spoke for the full 2 minutes. Well done on that. I don't. Did you say the name of the person?
Yeah, I mentioned
What's his name?
Vic Soto.
Oh, Vic Soto. That was it. That was it. I'll have to look into him. Good. So yeah. So as I said, speaking for the full 2 minutes obviously is very positive. There was some good accuracy in your language, particularly with the use of prepositions. So sometimes people make mistakes with the use of prepositions, but use them very well. Things like saying "I'm definitely interested in." Also, has a show on television. So it was So there was some good accuracy in usage of that. Your pronunciation was clear as well and easy to follow. I think to make further improvements, the pace is something you want to think about. So you're speaking at a pace which is a little bit slow, and I think some people, naturally speak more slowly or more quickly than others. But if you were able to speak at a slightly faster pace, then it would mean that you would be able to use more vocabulary and use more variety as well. So you clearly had more things that you wanted to say at the end. So yeah, I would try to just quicken the pace slightly, just so that you're able to express more language and show a higher level of fluency as well. there were just some slips as well in grammar. So you said one of the well-known comedian and actor, but if it's one of, then you should use a plural for the noun reference, because you're saying one of a group. So one of the well-known comedians and actors would have been the correct thing there. Yeah. And just be careful with verb forms as well. You said he usually do, but because you've used he, it should be he usually does in that case. And also, there's one point as well when you said, you know, I definitely interested in, but we missed the verb. So I am or I'm definitely interested in. So just a few slips in grammar there as well. But yeah, those would be the main things I would say to make improvements. Just look at those elements of grammar, and also just look at quickening the pace, speaking a little bit more quickly, so that you can show a higher level of fluency.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great stuff, Eagle. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's continue, and I'm going to bring Alice into the class now. Hi there, Alice. Are you there?
I was mute, sorry.
That's
Good evening,
fine. That's
how are
fine.
you?
I can hear you now. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. We have missed you in the class.
Oh, thank you very much. I've missed being here. It's good to be
Yes,
back.
sure.
So how have you been today?
Well, not bad. Just a bit chilly in my country. We're heading to July, which is usually a very cold month.
Okay, so the opposite to the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, July is one of the hottest months. But you would be in the southern hemisphere, wouldn't you? So everything's the opposite in the southern hemisphere compared to the northern hemisphere.
Okay.
Yeah, because remind me, which country are you in, Alice?
I'm a Kenyan.
Kenya. That's right. Kenya. So Kenya, that will be in the southern hemisphere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it will be. That's why everything's a little bit different. You have your winter when we have our summer, and vice versa. Yeah. Okay, Alice. So let's have a look at a part 2 question together, and we're going to have a look at school day. So I don't know how many positive memories or negative memories you have about school, but we will find out. Can you see the question on your screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So you've got a minute to prepare then, Alice, starting now.
Okay.
Okay, you ready to begin?
Yes.
Brilliant. So please describe your first day at school.
Well, I would like to talk about the day that I was taken to school by my parents. I remember I was yearning to be in school, but by the time I got there, I was astonished because I found so many other students. And since I was very shy at that time, I remember I almost told my parents that I was not going to remain behind, but the teacher had to sweet talk me, and I was given some sweets. And being a young child, that really made me get interested. And along the way, I was carried away, and my parent decided to sneak out and left me behind. I remember I found when there were quite a number of students, so most of them were staring at me, and I felt quite uncomfortable. But along the way, I got used to the class, and the teacher really took good care of me. I was longing for the time I'll be out of school so that I could go back home. And it was so strange that I had never been away from my parents apart from that day. And I was so stressed. And by the time I was going back home, I remember I got very excited because my parent had to come and pick me, being the first day, so that she could show me how to go back home every other day of the school. I remember there was a very interesting story that the teacher gave just to try and encourage me. And when she gave the story, it made me feel at home. And for some reason, I was able to relax and enjoy the music because I remember we went out to the field and we sang, which was quite interesting for me. And I would say that after
Okay, thank
having
you.
the activity,
Thank you very much, Alice. That was the 2 minutes. Well done. So you remember this day very clearly by the sounds of it.
actually, I actually mistook the question. So even what I scribbled down was quite different from what was on the question. But at least I was able to figure out something to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And you did answer the question as well. So there was no problem there. Yeah, so really nice there, Alice. I felt you were speaking a little bit more quickly this time, which is good because obviously with part two, it's only one speaker. So it's up to you really to carry the pace and to carry the fluency. And I felt that you did that nicely today. So
Okay.
so yeah, so I thought that was a good improvement. Also, as usual, you were using some really nice linking expressions, along the way. By the time that you'd finished, you were using these time expressions to show the connection between ideas, which is obviously really useful when you're giving a longer talk. So great that you were doing that. You were using some less common expressions as well and using them accurately. So I got used to the class, which was great. You also used the expression sweet talk. You said with the teachers, was it the parents, they sweet talked you, which was a nice expression to use as well. Not many slips, but just a couple of things. So at one point you said your parents decided to sneaked out, but you'd want to use the infinitive after decided to. So decided to sneak out would have been the correct expression there. And then also you said your parents came to pick me, but pick me up is the expression. Yeah,
Okay.
so you could have said collect me, they came to collect me, or they came to pick me up. It's
Okay.
a
Thank you.
phrasal verb that you would use there. And then also you talked about a story that you said the teacher gave. So as a collocation, we wouldn't usually say to give a story, to tell a story. There you go,
Okay.
exactly. That's the most natural collocation to use. But yeah, aside from that, really positive stuff, Alice. So yeah, well done, and thanks for getting involved.
Thank you, Alex.
No worries. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you to all those who have participated in the class today, both directly within the class and also for those who have been watching us online as well on YouTube and on Facebook. Please do give us a like and let others know what we're doing here so we can get as many people involved as possible. And before I go as well, let me just remind you about the opportunity that we have for the scholarship program. For those who would like to participate directly, as many have done in the class today, the way to do that is to join our scholarship program. We also provide you with lots of other support and guidance as you pursue your dream of working and living in the USA. We at Swoosh English are working with Connetics USA in order to provide support to people who have that dream and that ambition. So click on the link in the description, which I'm going to share now, if you would like to find out more about that opportunity. And if you would like to get directly involved in classes such as this, where we can help you achieve that goal. So aside from that, all that remains is for me to say thank you once more to all those who have participated today, and I look forward to seeing you in next week's class. Until then, take care.